2, 1. Hey, Facebook. Looky who we got. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. From Last Comic Standing and everything else. This is Nikki Carr. So, hi.
Hi.
What do you have to Good, Nikki. What do you have to say to people today?
Hey. Keep living.
Man, this.
All I got.
How does it? Do comedians have an easier time staying positive in these times?
I don't know about. I can't speak for all, but I'm not feeling too positive about the outcome later on. You know.
Yes. So it's going to bring about a whole new. They call it a whole new normal, like we had normal to begin with.
Yeah, I don't like it already.
Yeah.
The new normal says no more hugging your fans and taking selfies and all that stuff. I don't like it.
That's terrible. I know that the group dynamics is if you're all crowded together up front, it's better for the comedy show, and that's going to be a thing of the past too.
Right. I don't know what it's going to look like performing to people sitting 6 feet apart. I don't know what that's going to look like. I have no idea.
Yeah. So
I don't know if I want to do it.
Was that?
I don't know if I want to do it.
I know it. Well, you're from the Bronx, New York, and I can't think of a better way to grow up and be a tough cookie and be able to make it in life. And then
that's true.
So what all did you learn growing up in the Bronx?
Music, mostly.
Really?
It's my thing. Music is my thing.
No way. I think during the set you did here in Vegas when I met you, I think you had a song in there, a parody. Am I right?
Probably.
Yeah. I love your comedy. You crack up a room. They don't see it coming.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. You know, like I said, it's just one rule. That's be yourself and have a good time. So,
what inspired you?
If I'm doing a good job, it's the audience's fault.
What inspired you to try to make people laugh?
Just was a silly kid, period. Silly, very, very silly.
Yeah.
Forever. Amen. Yeah. So when the opportunity presented itself, I went for it.
Nice.
Just on a try. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, then at least I tried.
Yeah.
So that was 22 years ago.
Say that again?
So that was 22 years ago.
My gosh. You know, I don't think there's enough comics out there that pay respect to the comics that have put in the time. So thank you for putting in all those years.
Hey, what else am I going to do? I mean, like I said, the rules are simple. Be yourself and have a good time. Those are two things I know how to do better than anything else. So, thank you for laughing for 22 years.
What's the fun?
Without them.
Yes. What do you think's the craziest thing you ever experienced when you were in a comedy club? Either when you're on stage.
A fight broke out. I was taping a TV show, Martin Lawrence's First Amendment stand-up, and a fight broke out right before my punchline. A huge fight. Are you serious? So, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that was probably the craziest thing ever.
So when that interrupts your joke before you get your punchline out and the fight happens and the fight stops, the show must go on. So what did you say to pick it up?
I don't remember what I said, but we picked up where we left off. It was actually a TV taping, so it wasn't a whole bunch of time for tomfoolery. We just get right back into it, you know?
Yes.
Comment about it. Of course, say something to loosen up the moment and keep going.
What's your pet peeve about what other comics do or say to you?
To me, nothing much what they say to me. I just like originality.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Anytime someone asks me for advice, it's always the same. Be yourself, have a good time, stay original.
Love it. I love
Yep.
that. Yeah, I was doing comedy and I was like, okay, that's funny, I'll say that. Okay, that's funny, I'll say that. And then this guy in Philadelphia, Paul Lyons, he said, have you ever thought about what it means to be authentic? So I looked it up and then I cried for 2 weeks. I hadn't been authentic.
Oh, okay.
And ever
yeah. There is a market for people who just know how to tell other people's jokes funnily. There's a guy named Michael Collier, who's made a living off of telling other people's jokes, and he'll say that it's other people's jokes. He calls it old joke alert, and then he goes on and tells the jokes. So, there is a market for that, and I'm sure you interweave some of your own personality and thoughts as well. So
there you go.
That's fine. It depends, because sometimes you can dig up jokes that nobody's ever heard before, but it's pretty hard, but it depends on your audience,
Yeah. What's the funnest joke you've ever told that maybe didn't get the greatest reaction, but you refused to throw it away because you loved telling it?
Well, I did have one, and I did throw it away. It was about Martin Luther King, and I never got anyone to laugh about it. So I just stopped telling it, and I still think it's funny, but whatever. Who am I?
My parents went through the whole...
I guess you can't tell Martin Luther King jokes. People don't like it.
Too soon, huh?
Too soon, I guess, yeah. It's only been a few centuries.
My parents went through the Holocaust, and I try like the Dickens to make people laugh about the Holocaust. And, like they're not having it. And it's like, listen, It was my struggle. Why are you getting offended?
Exactly. Whatever.
Yeah. It's a weird world.
Somebody laughed at it.
Are you sitting on a rocker outside?
Yeah, I'm outside.
Love it. Looks comfy.
Yeah, I love this chair.
You have an acting background, which is obvious from your stage presence. And you've been in a number of independent films. Can you speak about that part of your life?
Well, each time I did one, I thought it was going to lead to another one, something bigger. And from what I learned, actually pretty recently, is that even if you smash a part, if you're an unknown, they don't come looking for you. You have to just keep submitting. And I didn't do that. I was like, man, I killed that. They'll be back. And they never come back. That's why I don't have any acting going on. But yeah, I did a few things. I love acting. My mother actually had me acting since I was like 8 to 10 years old.
I read your bio where your mother was very key in getting you into comedy.
Well, she just probably understood why I grew up to be such a silly person, and understand also that I wasn't doing comedy because it was something that I thought I could do, but it was actually the person that I am naturally. So
it's so true, because when you're on stage, there's so much joy coming out of you.
Yeah, I have a good time.
Yeah.
It's my therapy too.
Yeah. I really enjoy watching you.
Thank you. I enjoy being watched.
Yeah. You learn something new from everybody you watch. And what I noticed and learned from you, not the words, I'm not going there to study and copy words and actions. What overall is that the whole stage, the whole audience is yours, and you're just being you to the fullest.
Right.
And you can see the joy coming out of your eyeballs.
Thank you.
It's fun to watch.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So,
I appreciate that.
what was it like to be on BET's Comic View? I've watched that.
Man, that was so long ago. I don't even really remember. I know one thing: my collar was bent on that show, and nobody told me. So every time I saw the picture, I just kept wanting to take the TV and fix just turn it down. Like, nobody told me. But that was my debut, and I remember my mouth being really, really dry because I was nervous to the point where I had to keep laughing and putting my hand to my mouth so that I could tear my lips off, tear my dry lips off of my gums because I was so nervous.
When you have those kind of chops, like the comedy credits and the acting credits you've got, do you find it easy to get into places like the Comedy Cellar and, different clubs because of your credits?
Well, no. Most of the time, I go to clubs and they don't know who the hell I am.
Oh, my gosh.
And I sometimes pay to get in. Like, I paid to go see Jimmy Kimmel, go into Jimmy Kimmel's club the first time I went and everything like that because they didn't know who I was. So a lot of the times I just don't go because after 22 years, it kind of hurts your feelings when you go to a comedy club and they have no idea who you are or whatever. But I guess a lot of that is my fault too because I guess I haven't done enough. I haven't done big enough. I don't mind if it's but an actual comedy club, I think should just know all the comedians.
Me too. I think yeah. I like going to I've only been on stage 6 years with a brain injury. And in the last 6 months, I've figured out how to be my authentic self. So I got nothing to complain about. But the thing is that I like going to the comedy clubs with the guys, hanging out. And I've noticed the comedy clubs assume that you're somebody's arm candy. They don't know who, but they assume, So.
Yeah, well, I could be a pecan roll, I'm sure, but since living on the West Coast, I've been doing a lot of nice major comedy clubs, and I like that a lot. The Comedy Cellar, I was born and raised in New York, and I never did the New York, but I've done it here in Vegas many times, and they've shown me lots and lots and lots of love.
That's great.
That's been great. Yeah.
So
I like it here.
I love Vegas. Oh my, I'm so glad I came here. I was in Portland, Oregon, dying in Portland,
Mm-hmm.
Had to create my own stuff to get booked.
Right. Well,
which I'll do it.
Do that now. You can still do it now, yeah.
Yeah. So if money wasn't an issue and you could pick somebody to do comedy with next, or the next show you want to be on with somebody funny that you haven't done comedy with, who would it be?
Let's see. Maybe Paula Poundstone. I love Paula Poundstone.
I love her too. You never see her punchlines coming. I don't. Ever.
She's so good. Yeah, her and Ellen are really, really good.
Yeah, I love Ellen. Every time I send a video of myself to my sister writes back and tells me she loves Ellen DeGeneres.
Wow.
So
hilarious. And I think Wanda Sykes' last special was breathtaking. It was really, really good. Very, very good.
Have you met Wanda?
So, yeah. I have. She was executive producer on Left I'm Standing. She and Paige Hurwitz.
Boy, I would love to meet me some Wanda Sykes. What a kick in the pants.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it got to the point where, you see her every day and it's so surreal, When she called me Nick, that's when I was like, that's it, we're friends for life, but I haven't seen her. Only my friends call me Nick. Hey, Nick. I was like, she called me Nick. We're friends for life.
Well, everybody in New York and everybody in Vegas who knows you loves you.
Oh, that's sweet, because I love everybody. I'm a Libra. I can't help myself.
That's cool.
I love everybody. It's annoying.
The pandemic is supposed to make us better people, and I don't know if people can take, like you people love you already. I don't know if people can take you being even better than you are.
Yeah, I'm trying. I have some days, and some days I'm just like, like March 12th, I came up with an idea for a show, and I was all amped about it. I copyrighted the name for it and everything, and just never got around to it because, you know, it's just really depressing.
Yes.
You keep watching the news and the news and the news and the news and New York and New York and New York, and it's just really sad. And then you go on social media and start scrolling, laughing at the funny stuff, and then pow, this happened to someone you know or someone that they know that you know. It's just too much, and I'm not built for sadness.
Me neither.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It takes me under something terrible.
Me too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a Pisces, and so I hurt for the whole world right now.
Right.
I can't, you know, I can't handle it. I turn on the news and they're like, every ad, in these hard times. Shut up! I turn this on to forget.
Right. Exactly.
I don't really see anything fun.
Every ad, everything.
I have a hard time seeing anything funny.
Right. So, you know, and then sometimes I'll be brainstorming and I feel like I'm funny, and then it just hit me and I'm like,
Yep. Well, is there anything you want to tell people about how to get through this, or where to catch you when the whole thing is over, or any?
Well, I don't even know where to catch me when the whole thing is over. But you can keep in touch with me via Instagram. I also have a website, NikkiCarrComedy.com.
Okay.
So if anything happens, if I do end up doing a show, I will let people know. We'll all meet up and laugh there and just try to heal one another.
Yeah.
You know?
Right now,
I was looking today. A lot of comedians are pretty depressed right now. A lot of comedians are not doing too good.
I know it. Well, I'm so happy you took the time to just
Absolutely
try to cheer other people up, even though it's extremely hard for you. Because at your level, it probably hit you in the pocketbook.
Oof.
So, do you have?
Snatch my pocketbook.
Do you have a Venmo or a Cash App that I can put on the post in case anybody's so inclined?
Well, yes, I do have my Venmo and my Cash App, but Cash App is Comedy Nikki Carr. Comedy Nikki Carr on Cash App.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Great.
So thanks in advance.
Yes.
Oh, you wanted the Venmo too? Yeah, that's good enough. Just Cash App is good enough. You think people don't have Cash App? I need the Venmo too. That one would be Nick Got Jokes. So spell it NIKGOTJOAX, like an X-ray. Nick Got Jokes.
Perfect. Nick Got Jokes. Perfect. At Gmail. And so...
Yeah, that's the Venmo.
Okay. And
I mean, no, that's the PayPal. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say that. And what's the Venmo?
I don't even know.
That's
I
cool.
think it's Nikki Carr with 2 eyes. I spelled it wrong. It has 2 eyes. So, yeah. Nikki Carr with the first 2 eyes, not the second. I don't even know. Let's leave Venmo out.
Okay. So if people want to buy any merchandise, do you sell that on NikkiCarrComedy.com?
I just sent for a shipment of T-shirts because the thing that I will miss about whatever comedy was for me the most is giving out hugs. So I do have some T-shirts coming, and they say #hugs on the front, and they have a matching mask that says kisses across that. So I'm selling hugs and kisses from Nikki Carr.
I love it. Aren't you special?
Yeah, I'm just waiting to get the shipment.
So your mother got you into comedy. One last little thing I forgot to ask you. Your dad was a jazz drummer. Are you at liberty to just touch on that real fast before we go, Nikki?
Oh, what about him?
Like, he was a jazz drummer in the Bronx?
The great Nikki Carr. He's a jazz drummer, I guess, everywhere. I don't know. I didn't get to see him. I haven't seen him since I was 6, 7 years old, something like that. Yeah.
And he was famous?
He was very famous, played with all the greats. His anthology is ridiculous. Yeah, he was a great drummer. Not too good a dad, I know that. You know, I was like wishing I was drums when I was growing up to play with me. You know?
You were wrapped tighter than the drums. It looks like you were wrapped better.
Right. But apparently he's done his thing in music. So
super.
Whatever.
Yes. Well, we've connected, and one of these days, hit me up and we'll go for a walk and have coffee.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I'll add all this to the post, and if you think anything I missed, let me know and I'll add it.
You got it all.
Thank you so much, Nikki Carr.
If anything comes up, I'll share it with you so you can share it with your people.
Yes, ma'am. That's right. Thank you so much, Nikki Carr.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being on here.
Taking care of you.
Thank you. You too. Bye. Love you lots.
Love you more. Thank you.
Thank you.